Master the middle. A simple phrase, yet it holds the power to transform your life. Think about it. How often do you feel pulled in a dozen directions, trying to find balance in a world that thrives on extremes? Society tells you to hustle harder, rest more, indulge fully, or restrict completely. But what if I told you that balance isn't about choosing sides? In fact, chasing balance the wrong way might be exactly what's keeping you stuck. Confucius' teachings on Zhong Yong, or the middle path, reveal a profound truth. True harmony isn't found in extremes. It's created through deliberate choices, through finding that middle ground where growth, peace, and purpose coexist. This isn't just philosophy, it's a blueprint for life. Whether it's navigating work stress, strengthening relationships, or finding personal fulfillment, these lessons can unlock a way of living that feels both intentional and free. Curious? Well, stick around. By the end of this video, you'll have practical tools rooted in ancient wisdom to help you regain control, simplify your choices, and live a life of balance. And hey, before we dive into the lessons, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It's a small step toward a more harmonious life. Lesson 1. The middle path, the key to harmony. Stop chasing balance. Think about it for a second. How many times have you found yourself running in circles trying to juggle everything? Work, family, relationships, and oh yeah, yourself. The truth is, balance isn't something you chase. It's something you create. And that's the brilliance of Confucius' concept of Zhong Yong. The middle path isn't about playing it safe or staying in the middle lane of life. Nope, it's deeper than that. It's about recognizing that extremes, whether in action, emotion, or thought, can pull you apart. You've probably felt it. Too much ambition, burnout. Too much relaxation, stagnation. Zhong Yong teaches us to align ourselves with a natural flow of life, creating harmony without forcing it. Imagine this, you're at a family dinner. One person wants pizza, another wants sushi. If you pick sides, someone's bound to feel slighted. But what if you suggest a fusion place with options for both? That's the middle path in action, finding a solution that respects all perspectives without losing your peace in the process. Now let's get practical. Start small. Look at one area of your life where you feel pulled in two directions. Is it work-life balance? Your diet? Instead of swinging between extremes, try the middle path. Maybe skip the all-out cheat day and enjoy a single slice of cake guilt-free. It's not about compromise, it's about alignment. Harmony starts here, but we're just scratching the surface. What if this balance could transform not just your daily life, but also your character? Let's dive deeper. Lesson 2. Cultivating virtue through moderation. Ever hear the saying, virtue lies in the middle? Confucius didn't coin that phrase, but he certainly lived by it. When he talked about Zhong Yong, he wasn't just throwing around abstract ideas, he was laying the foundation for a virtuous life. Virtue, he believed, wasn't about being perfect. It was about consistency and moderation. Think about it. When was the last time you tried to do something 100% perfectly? Maybe it was sticking to a strict diet or completing a big project. Odds are, you either burned out or got frustrated and quit. That's because extremes rarely lead to growth. They lead to pressure. Instead, Confucius invites us to focus on steady, deliberate progress. Virtue isn't about a grand gesture. It's about showing up every day, even in the small things. Let's break it down with an example. Say you want to be more generous. Instead of donating a huge amount once and feeling financially strained, start small. Buy a coffee for a friend, or donate a little to a cause you care about every month. These small acts, done consistently, build a habit of generosity, and that's where virtue is cultivated. The same goes for relationships. Being a perfect friend isn't about always being available or giving up your needs for others. It's about showing up when it matters, being honest, and finding a rhythm that works for everyone. Moderation here means avoiding emotional extremes, like being too needy or too distant, and finding a middle ground that fosters trust. Now, imagine applying this principle to every area of your life, your health, career, even your mindset. What would it look like if you embraced moderation as a daily practice? Well, that's where things get really interesting, especially when we look at how this idea connects with balancing emotions and reason. Lesson 3. Balancing emotions and reason. Let's be real, emotions can be messy. One moment, you're on top of the world. The next, you're spiraling over something that won't matter a week from now. Confucius knew this all too well, which is why Zhong Yong teaches the importance of balancing emotions with reason. The goal isn't to suppress how you feel, but to guide it with clarity and wisdom. Here's the deal, emotions are powerful, but they're also fleeting. Think of them like a compass. They point you in a direction, but they don't always show the safest or smartest path. Reason is the map. It helps you navigate without getting lost. Together, they make a perfect team. Ignore one, and you're either paralyzed by overthinking or swept away by impulse. Take a common scenario, conflict at work. Let's say your colleague takes credit for something you did. Your emotions, anger, frustration, maybe even betrayal. But acting on that without thinking might burn bridges. Instead, pause and ask yourself, what's the bigger picture here? Reason helps you approach the situation with calm and strategy, like scheduling a one-on-one to set the record straight instead of lashing out in a meeting. Balancing emotions and reason also applies to personal goals. Ever feel motivated to start something new, like a fitness plan, only to lose steam when emotions fade? That's because emotions ignite action, but reason keeps it sustainable. Want to stay consistent? Use reason to set small, achievable goals that keep you moving forward, even on the tough days. This balance isn't just about handling tough situations. It's about creating a life where emotions and logic work in harmony. And once you master this, you'll find it's easier to adapt and thrive, no matter what life throws your way. But adaptation, that's a whole new level of wisdom we're about to explore. Lesson 4. Adaptation, the foundation of practical wisdom. Life doesn't come with a manual, does it? Plans fall apart, people change, and surprises, both good and bad, seem to pop up when you least expect them. That's where Zhong Yong's lesson on adaptation shines. Confucius believed that true wisdom isn't rigid, it's flexible, evolving with the circumstances without losing its foundation. Think about a tree in a storm. The branches that resist the wind break, but the ones that bend survive. Adaptation works the same way in life. It's not about giving up or being passive. It's about understanding the moment and adjusting your approach to move forward with strength. Here's a practical example. You're working on a major project, but halfway through, your team decides to change direction. Frustrating, right? But instead of clinging to the original plan, adaptation means reassessing your goals and finding ways to use what you've already done to align with a new path. It's not a setback, it's a pivot. The same applies to relationships. Ever notice how friendships or partnerships can shift over time? Adaptation here means embracing those changes, understanding each other's evolving needs, and growing together instead of apart. For instance, if a friend becomes a parent, your dynamic might change. But by being flexible, you can support them while nurturing the bond in new ways. And here's the kicker. Adaptation doesn't mean losing yourself. It's about staying rooted in your values while adjusting how you express them. Think of it as wearing different clothes for different seasons. You're still the same person underneath, but you're prepared for whatever comes your way. So, what does this look like in your daily life? Start by asking yourself, how do I respond when things don't go as planned? What would happen if, instead of resisting, I leaned into change with curiosity and confidence. Because when you embrace adaptation, you unlock a deeper connection to harmony, not just within yourself, but with the world around you. And speaking of harmony, let's explore how this concept ties into the bigger picture of personal and universal balance. Lesson 5. The individual and the universal, connecting inner peace to outer harmony. Here's something to think about. Have you ever felt like your inner chaos spills into the world around you? Confucius taught that the balance we create inside ourselves doesn't just affect us. It ripples outward, shaping our relationships, communities, and even the world. This is the essence of Zhong Yong, the seamless connection between the individual and the universal. Let's break it down. Inner peace isn't just about meditation or staying calm in traffic, though that's a good start. It's about aligning your actions, thoughts, and values so that they reflect harmony. When you live this way, it naturally influences those around you. For example, think about a leader who remains calm under pressure. Their composure inspires confidence in their team, creating an environment where solutions thrive instead of panic. Now flip the script. Imagine a leader who's chaotic and impulsive. That inner imbalance creates tension and disarray, not just for themselves, but for everyone they interact with. See the connection? The state of your inner world shapes your outer reality. This idea isn't limited to leadership. Take relationships. If you approach your friendships or partnerships with unresolved inner conflicts, it often leads to misunderstandings or resentment. But when you cultivate inner harmony through self-reflection, mindfulness, or even journaling, you bring a sense of calm and understanding into those relationships. Here's something you can try. Dedicate 5 minutes a day to an inner check-in. Ask yourself, what's one thing I can let go of to feel more at peace? Then notice how that small shift impacts your day. You might find that your interactions become smoother, your patience grows, and your outlook brightens. And here's the beauty of it. As you cultivate inner harmony, you contribute to a larger sense of balance. Your actions inspire others, creating a ripple effect of peace and connection. But what happens when this idea is applied to leadership or decision-making on a broader scale? That's where Zhong Yong's principles of leadership come into play. Lesson 6. Leadership through Zhong Yong. Ever wonder what makes a truly great leader? It's not just intelligence, charisma, or even power. According to Confucius, a leader's greatness lies in their ability to embrace moderation, fairness, and adaptability, core principles of Zhong Yong. This isn't about ruling with an iron fist or being overly lenient. It's about finding that sweet spot where decisions uplift, unify, and inspire. Picture this: a manager is faced with a team conflict. One member wants more flexibility to work remotely, while another thrives on in-person collaboration. A poor leader might take sides or impose a one-size-fits-all solution. But a leader guided by Zhong Yong, they'd take time to understand each perspective, balancing the needs of the team with the goals of the organization. The result? A hybrid approach that fosters both productivity and morale. Leadership through Zhong Yong isn't just about resolving conflicts, it's about setting the tone. When leaders model balance and fairness, it creates a culture of trust. Think of historic figures like Abraham Lincoln, who was known for his ability to unite opposing views, or modern leaders who navigate challenges with calm, measured responses. They embody this principle by leading with reason, empathy, and a steady hand. But here's the kicker: you don't need to run a company or lead a nation to apply this. Leadership exists in everyday moments, guiding your family, supporting a friend, or even mentoring someone at work. Let's say your sibling is facing a tough decision. Instead of telling them what to do, a balanced approach might involve listening, offering insight, and encouraging them to find their own path. That's leadership rooted in moderation. Now imagine a world where leaders, from households to governments, embrace Zhong Yong. Decisions would be wiser, conflicts less divisive, and progress more sustainable. It's a powerful vision, and it starts with individuals like you practicing these principles. But how do you live Zhong Yong daily beyond leadership roles? That's where the final lesson comes into focus. Lesson 7. Living Zhong Yong, a lifelong practice of balance. Here's the truth. Balance isn't a destination. It's not something you achieve once and then forget about. Living according to Zhong Yong is a continuous practice, a daily choice to align your thoughts, actions, and emotions with harmony. It's about progress, not perfection, a journey that evolves with every step you take. Think of it like learning to ride a bike. At first, you wobble, maybe even fall. But with practice, you find your rhythm. Zhong Yong works the same way. It's about noticing when you're veering too far to one side, whether that's overworking, overindulging, or overthinking, and gently steering yourself back to the middle. Take your daily routine, for instance. Are you so focused on your career that your personal life suffers? Or are you spending so much time relaxing that your goals feel neglected? Start small. Choose one area where you feel off balance and make an adjustment. Maybe it's setting boundaries with work or dedicating 30 minutes a day to self-improvement. Over time, these small changes create a life that feels grounded and purposeful. Living Zhong Yong also means embracing imperfection. Life will throw you curveballs, a sudden deadline, an argument, or even just a bad day. Instead of beating yourself up for not handling it perfectly, remember, balance isn't about never stumbling. It's about how quickly you recover. Journaling, mindfulness, or even a quick walk can help you reset and realign. And here's the most exciting part. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Over time, living Zhong Yong feels less like an effort and more like second nature. It shapes not just how you navigate challenges, but also how you grow as a person, steadily, authentically, and in harmony with the world around you. But there's one more thing to consider. How does this journey connect to the deeper purpose of harmony, not just in your life, but in the lives of those around you? That's the ultimate question, and it's where we'll tie everything together. So, what's stopping you from putting these lessons into action? Each principle of Zhong Yong is a step toward balance, not just in your life, but in how you influence the world around you. Now, let's get real. Are you willing to take that step? Will you start noticing where extremes rule your decisions and gently bring yourself back to the middle? If not now, then when? Here's the challenge. Pick one lesson from today and apply it this week. Maybe it's balancing emotions with reason in a tough conversation, or practicing moderation in your daily routine. Reflect on how it feels, what changes, what becomes easier. Share your experience in the comments. I'd love to hear your insights and questions. Your journey inspires others, so don't hold back. And if this resonated with you, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. There's so much more wisdom to uncover, and you don't want to miss what's next. To deepen your understanding of Confucius' teachings, check out the Analects of Confucius. It's an incredible resource, and it's super affordable on Amazon. Find the link in the first pinned comment below. Thank you for watching, and remember, balance isn't found, it's created. Click on the card to continue learning with our next video, where we dive even deeper into ancient wisdom for modern living.